So just a quick walk through of what we have here. Obviously the home page, the main landing page, most of it is just static content, nothing too fancy. But again, very fast to get to where we want. All this bit about the updates is actually dynamic. So fetching some fields in the database, which I maintain separately, but just to prove that stuff like that actually works. It can be done fairly quickly. In terms of the hard bits, I would say obviously authentication, something that's often taken for granted, hosting, image upload, storage, all of this, which in a typical team, I mean, I've been through it, it takes a lot more time than people usually think. But with this Lovable plus Supabase combination, it goes actually quite quickly. So this, unless you really understand the pain of it, then you wouldn't really see the value, but this is really awesome. So obviously we've got basic CRUD, I mean, not CRUD, read and edit on the profile stuff. Nothing too fancy, but it works. Changing the photos, as I said, storage, big deal, but easy now. Friends, so managing friendships, mostly right now I'm just using it to at least it's mostly like a distribution problem that I'm trying to solve, because it is, the product in itself is a network, but setting up friendships, very easy. You can add people and invite them using referral links. Sign up can be tied to users, the whole referral system, this is also done. Nothing inherently sexy, but yeah, for what we're building here is very important. Viewing your matches, so querying the matches, integration with that, how many points you've lost, what's your new number of points now that you won the match. This is dynamic as well, the whole calculation system. We can go through the functions later, but this was not straightforward. Probably the biggest value adds is the ELO system that is dynamic based on how hard your matchup is. So this is the bad example because it was an even matchup both times, but we can get through it. And the leaderboard, which is where we sort all of the players by the ELO rating and ELO ratings, and for me this is probably the core bit of the whole apps offering, which for me is more than good enough for the MVP, which would help me get a good idea of whether we should spend more time on this or this is good enough. Putting that in all of those, mobile optimized as well. Sometimes Lovable does forget that it needs to be optimized for mobile all the time, but so do real people. So still better overall. For example, we made batch registration. I said the 4 players. We'll calculate the expected win and loss rate. I'll go through this eventually and we'll just sort of try to set it up again on Supabase. And then expected win and lose. You set up your winners and your losers, and then once you've registered them up, a lot of updates need to go through just because how we decided to set up the database when it comes to tracking the matches and the results, so that people can actually view their results over time and we can do something about it. But I won't do that because this is real people and some people are going to complain that they didn't lose a fictional match. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not much, but for 7 days of work, this is really, I'm just really impressed by the tools. But yeah. So yeah, as to the state of things, having worked with real people, building software like that, I think it's it's a massive game changer. So this is what I'm thinking so far in terms of where AI really outperforms real people. So especially if you're in the startup world where speed is sort of the main thing, the main edge that you have, either against bigger companies or anything really, because you're testing a new idea. There's no point building something that no one really wants, and speed is the one way to do it. It changes the game completely. So just to give you some context, because I've built a lot of software with teams in my life to build the exact same thing that we've built here. Would have taken 1.5 months, 2 months. 2 months is about maybe $15,000, $20,000. Then, if we're being super optimistic, I get to the pricing later, but yeah, bit of a game changer. All right, so pricing. I had to buy a domain, which cost me $11 for a year, and everything else around hosting it was free, so it did not that much. So important thing to note on Lovable is on the free plan, you actually have only 5 daily messages per project. I started to pay for it because I just wanted more. For Supabase, the free version is absolutely fine to have a testable version that you actually share with friends. You even get your own. The hosting is taken care of, so you don't actually need your custom domain. That's a extra bit of work, but if you want something that's really nice and sort of ready to be deployed and shared with people, then yes. But otherwise, that's it. So pricing-wise, it's just a bit of a no-brainer, I think. So conclusion and predictions. I've got a message for different people, depending on who you are. I think product people like me, if you're willing to put in the effort, I think now's the time to do it. Because I think the state of the whole AI tooling thing is easy, but not easy enough just so that everyone can sort of do it. It is not fully consumer friendly. Sometimes you need to put in a bit of work because it's imperfect at times. But you're no longer sort of blocked by lack of hard skills. Like I can't code is no longer a reason to not be able to actually build a fully fledged app. So yeah, I think now's the time. When it comes to business people, I think it's time to rethink how expensive it is to ship software, what kind of talent you need, and reconsidering the value of hard skills. Because I think right now, obviously, being able to code is no longer a requirement. I don't think so. It's only, are you willing to put in the effort? Obviously, a lot of those things a lot of the stuff you encounter, like, set up setting up a custom domain. I've never done it myself before, but just find a guide, follow it. You don't really need to understand it. It might be good enough. So I'm not sure what it means for software people. Which, if you're listening to this, I think at least my prediction is to be able to have a job in the future as a software engineer, you need to be in the top 10 or 20%. Because I do believe there's definitely room if you're really good. But for the business, the bar is raising so fast that if you're just average, then you're going to get booted out because you're going to get replaced because, we have here. I know the software is not perfect, but it's good enough. And for a lot of startups, the main issue is not the tech, it's figuring out that what you're building, do people actually value this? And I still think right now, so for example, if this turns out to be really solid, I would hire engineers, but I wouldn't bother hiring average engineers. That's a very tough prediction, but I think, yeah, based on my experience of what I've seen, because I feel like I've gotten a good idea of what both sides look like. The whole human-only approach and the AI approach, it's looking very grim. But yeah, otherwise, to product people and business people, I think things are looking very good. But yeah, thanks, and we'll see what happens and what comes of this.